right, Jason. The holidays are right around the corner, and when I think holidays, I think decorations. So what are you going to show us today?
That's right. Well, today we're going to talk about using some items out of your own garden to create some beautiful containers for winter interest. And we're going to start, this is one I did previously, and this is an arrangement we've done in a plastic pot. You don't want to use a pot that's going to crack during the winter time, so it's a plastic pot. There were plants in this up until yesterday from the summer, elephant ears and petunias and potato vines, so I cut those out. And so we're going to demonstrate that. This arrangement would be, it's really more or less one-sided, so you'd push this against the house or viewed from one side. The one I'm going to make now, we can view from all the way around. So first step is, again, this is a plastic container that we've had plants in this summer, and we're just going to cut those plants off right at the soil line. Right. And you don't want to disturb the soil because you really need that firm soil and the existing roots to help hold the greenery that you're going to put in. So we're just getting rid of those summer annuals. And then you can see there we've got the nice firm soil from our summer. And we'll just begin with a selection of greenery. So all of these things I cut actually out of the UT gardens, but I have many of these in my garden at home as well. And I like to cut the stem at an angle, and that allows you to penetrate the soil a little bit easier. So you just start by pushing it in the soil.
And so the existing roots that are already there actually holds it in place.
Yeah, it makes the soil firmer and works like oasis. You know, if you were making a fresh arrangement, the florist oftentimes uses oasis, a product that's kind of like foam that keeps your plants upright or the cut flowers upright. So our soil is serving the same purpose as that oasis. Also, by keeping that soil moist, it keeps the plants from drying out, the greenery. So it lasts longer if you can keep that soil moist as well. Okay, so that's our gray owl juniper. I'm going to add a little bit of, this is blue Fitzer. I'm sorry, this is green Fitzer.
Green Fitzer,
just to give us a little bit of green color in here. Again, cutting it at an angle makes it a little bit easier to penetrate the soil.
I can definitely tell you've done this a time or two.
And then for a little more variety, we're going to add some Arizona cypress. This is the cultivar called Carolina Sapphire.
Carolina
See how
Sapphire.
It contrasts nicely with the green of that green Fitzer.
Has a nice smell to it.
It does. Yeah. And then we'll switch over to gold. And gold to me is premium in the cut Christmas world. This is a golden Arizona cypress called Golden Pillar.
Right. Beautiful.
Really brightens up the arrangement. If you were to go to a florist and buy cut greenery, you're going to pay a premium for it. This little bit right here might be $30, $40 just for the loose product, and you're certainly going to pay a lot more for anything with gold foliage.
Oh wow! Okay.
Just because it's not as common in the landscape, but these are things when you're picking out shrubbery for your house or your landscape to think about things with winter interest and with bright colors during the winter months as well.
I mean, that really stands out, Jason.
So that really brightens it up.
It does.
Okay. Then we're going to switch over to a little bit of a holly. This is Foster holly. This is one of the most common hollies. And you know, it's really my favorite holly. It's tough as nails. It gets really big. Unfortunately, maybe in the 60s and 70s, they were overused and they were planted at almost every corner of the house. And they were planted too close to the house and they got too large, and they really should be out further away, and they work great in screen plantings. But it's a really good holly for berry production and a tough plant, and works great, as you can see here, in arrangements.
And those berries give it a nice pop.
Absolutely.
You know, those are real bright.
Then we're going to take a little bit of magnolia. This is southern magnolia called Little Jim, which is a dwarf magnolia. And that'll add a little bit different texture. Also, I really like the rusty underside to the leaf of Little Jim. It's better if the stems actually do touch the soil and not rest in amongst the greenery, but sometimes you end up doing that. Again, because if it's in the soil, it's going to absorb some moisture from the water or the rain that it might get. Here's a little bit more gold. This is Cripsii Camasiferus. This is a little bit more common in the landscape, so more people would have this in their landscape. Again, it's another one of those shrubs that gets big over time and is often put in the wrong place. They can easily be 15, 20 feet tall. And when left unpruned, it's real, it's sort of layered effect in the landscape.
Wow. Now, Jason, how long will this greenery actually last?
Well, it all depends on the temperature. If it's a day like today where we're sweating in November,
Yeah.
probably a week or so, but typically temperature is 50 or below. You're going to get several weeks out of it.
Okay.
Of course, you wouldn't actually be doing this either until usually the first or second week in December.
Okay, that's good to know.
So you could get as
good to
much
know.
as 6 weeks. It also has a lot to do with where you're placing it. If it's in a sunny location, it's going to dry out quicker
Sure.
than the shady side. So the north side of the house, it's going to last longer. So I'm going to make the center point of this a deciduous holly branch here called winterberry. You may not know, but there are hollies that lose there are leaves in the wintertime, and this is one of those. Possum haw is also another common
familiar with that.
native deciduous holly. So this is one called winter red, but beautiful for that center point of it. And then we'll come in just with some branches to add a little bit more interest. This is red twig dogwood, which is a shrubby dogwood. A lot of people don't realize that they're trees and shrubs that are all in the same genus of Cornus of dogwood. And so this is the red twig dogwood. And it gets its winter color, its red color in the winter months, or as it cools off. So actually another couple weeks, the stems on this would be even brighter. It's been so warm this fall.
Yeah, it has been.
Hasn't colored up. In the summertime, this is green just like any other shrub or the stems are. That adds a little bit more interest to the arrangement.
And again, it's something that folks can plant in their own landscape,
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
These are common plants that you can find at the nursery.
Okay.
And then I'll add just a touch of twisted willow or
Yeah.
contorted willow
I
to
like
give you a
that.
little bit more pizzazz in the arrangement. And maybe one more branch. So once you finish this, get in the spot that you want it to stay in and water it well, and just check on it maybe once or twice a week to see that the soil is still moist, and that will help it last longer. Also, if it's in a location that you don't mind getting wet, just hosing it down with water,
I was gonna ask you
especially
about
on a
that.
hot day like
Yes.
today, just keeps those branches hydrated and will make it last longer. There is also a product called Wilt Proof. It's kind of like a wax, liquid wax that you can apply to it, which will help with the desiccation, keep it from drying out. But it tends to be a little messy. You wouldn't want to do that on a surface like the walk here. You need to do it out in the grass and then move it to your location. So there's the finished product.
Man, it looks good,
And you can keep
Jason.
fiddling and adding more. And of
Looks
course you
good.
can add a bow. I'm not a big bow person. I like nature as it is, but
Okay.
a lot of people would put a big bow on there as well. So,
Well, Jason, we appreciate that demonstration. It's beautiful, man. We appreciate that much.
all right.
Thank you.